So I'm going to take a look at some stuff with GUIs in MATLAB. First of all, I'm going to just get the properties of the screen. So you can see there are some properties of the screen, which is 0. You say get 0, and that's the screen. So for example, let's see, we can see that the screen size here, and we can see that there's nothing in the screen because the children is an empty vector. So now I'm just going to get a figure, and you see that figure window, and you see that it doesn't have a lot of properties, but I could get the properties since I stored the handle in a variable. So for example, we can see the position. Position vector is the number of pixels from the left, from the bottom, and then the width and the height. So that's the position of the figure window within the screen. And then if I get 0 again, I still have my figure window open. You can see that now it's got a child. Now there's a figure window that's open. So let me just close that. Now I'm going to take a look at a GUI. I'm going to do GUI with edit box. So first of all, I'm going to run it so you see what happens. So it brings up this figure window that has title on it, and there are actually two GUI objects in it. One is a static text box that has an instruction that says enter your string here, and then underneath that is an editable text box, so I can type in anything. Now let me back up and actually type something. Let's say hello there, a few exclamation points. Now what's going to happen is that when I hit the enter key, it's going to make both of these boxes invisible. It's going to get the string from the editable text box, and it's going to print that in a larger red font in another static text box. Ta-da! Okay, so let's take a look at the contents of this. Oops. Okay, so here's my function, GUI with edit box. We're going to start by creating a figure window. What we do is we make it invisible to begin with. The color is white, and the position of the figure window is within the screen. Then I'm going to put a name on it. So I'm using the set function to set with my variable, which is f for the figure window, and the name property is GUI with editable text. And then I'm going to take that figure window and I'm going to move it to the center of the screen. Then the UI control function is the function that is used to create objects. In the first case, the style is text. That's a static text box. The background color is white, and so it's going to be the same color as the figure window, so you're not going to see anything. And position is the position of this text box within the figure window. And then the string is the instruction that you saw, enter your string here. And I'm going to store the handle of that in a variable. And then I have another object, which is an editable text box. Again, using UI control, the style is edit. The position is the position within the figure window. And with this one, I have associated what's called a callback function. And then I'm going to make the GUI visible. So the callback function, what happens is that when I type something in the editable text box and I hit enter, this is going to call the callback function. So the callback function is a nested function within the GUI function. We have two input arguments. The second one, event data, we're just going to ignore. Source we actually don't need for this particular function, but source is whatever object called this. In this case, the source is going to be the same as HUI text. It's the editable text box to which we have this callback function associated. So that's actually the object that is going to call this. I'm going to use set to make both of those original objects invisible. And then I'm going to use get to get from the editable text box the string. Then I'm going to create a new static text box, so the style is text. And I'm going to put the string in that with a larger font size and the color red, and then I'm going to make that visible.